This is the voiceover version of the lesson for Year 8 that we will hopefully do on Zoom today. But if for some problem, it's too laggy or you're having trouble with the tech, then you should be able to access this version on YouTube. So it's a bit of a starter here where we're looking at multiplying across a single bracket, but we're using numbers and not algebra to begin with. You can do it by working out the brackets first, or if you think of another way of doing it, then go with that. So just have a go with these four, write them down just to get yourself back into the swing of it. So what we've got here is workings for the first one and the fourth one, so that one there, and this one here. So I'm trying out the pen, see if this works. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two together, which gives me 3 plus 2, which is 5, 7 5s, 35. Then what I'm going to do though is I'm going to look at it by doing it a different way, and I'm going to do 7 times 3, which is 21, and then 7 times 2, which is 14, and then add those two together, and that then gives me 35. Same answer, two different ways of doing it. Let's have a look at this one here. We would have 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 12 take away 2 is 10. 10 times 9 is 90. So that, it seems pretty standard to do it that way. But using the other method comes in handy with this one here, because we've got 8 and then we've got 121. So how am I going to do that? Well, I could do it by short multiplication, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand across the brackets. I'm going to do that. 8 times 100, 8 times 20, 8 times 1. 800, 160, and 8. Then add them together, and then I get 968. And that's a slightly different way of doing it, and I think it's quite a nice way of doing it, and will lead us into the algebra on the next slide. Now here we have 4 pieces of algebra. Then here we've got a number on the outside of the brackets, and we've got some algebra on the inside. So we've got with A, this one up here, we've got 5 on the outside, and we've got 3 plus y on the inside of the bracket. So there's a multiplication, an implied multiplication here. And so we're going to have a look at that method that we just used on the last slide to expand these out. Now we don't solve these yet, there's no equal sign, so it's not an equation. Also, if at any stage, if you want to just freeze this, then you can then write these down on pen and paper and work through them yourself. So what we're going to do is get you to write these down first, and then I'll show you how I worked through them next. Now, these are nice and straightforward, but you are going to be amazed at how many times you forget to multiply across both terms. This, the y term and the 3 term, and it's multiplying by 5. You'll probably pick up quite quickly that you do 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 3 is 15 is going to be the bit that you forget. Be careful there. 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times a, 4 times 2. 8 times w, 8 times 10. Notice this one's got a subtraction, but that subtraction is still there in the answer here. 3 times x, and then 3 times 7. 3 times x, 3 times 7. All right then. Get your chance to pause those if you want, and now there's some practice on the next slide. Have a go at these. Do as many as you can to make sure that you really feel that you know what you're doing. Make sure you have a go at this one here, because it's, it takes it up a level. You'll need to pause the video so that you can write them down. So I'm going to just witter on a little bit here to give you time to pause it. And then what you can do is look at the answers on the next slide. Have you paused it? Good. Okay, very important that you mark your answers, and really you should be getting into the habit now of writing the question and then an equals and then the answer there, so that you can mark them. Mark them Normally we say mark them in green pen, and that's handy because you can track back and see the colour. And it is also really important that if you get them right, as you mark them, you go, yes! And that gives you a great sense of satisfaction then as you get them right. So I'll let you mark those, and hopefully you've done really well and started to really pick it up. Okay, we're going to take it up a level here, and what is going to happen here now is we've got a negative on the outside. -2, -3, -8. So this now means that we're going to be multiplying by a negative number. So we need to remember what happens when we use directed numbers. Pause the video, have a go, see what you think happens, and then look at my worked answers on the next slide. Okay, straightforward as before. 2 times W, but it's -2 times W. 2 times W is 2W, and then the negative, because we've got a negative there and a positive there, it's going to be -2W. -2 times +5, 2 5s are 10, negative times a positive is a negative. Remember, when you multiply one of each, if one is a negative and one is a positive, the answer will be a negative. -3 times C, -3C. -3 times 7, sorry, -7, or take away 7. So remember, when if you're taking away a 7, it's like you're dealing with a negative number. So -3 times -7 plus 21 plus 21. You know, the directed numbers are going to be the thing that trip you up and are going to be a little bit annoying. Okay, on the next slide, there's some more practice of these. I'll just witter for a moment, witter. This should give you a chance to pause the video so that you can then have a go at these, and then the answers will be on the next slide. Witter. I've got paused it. Excellent. Again, get the answers. Remember to tick when you get them right, put the corrections when you get them wrong, and remember that sense of satisfaction that comes from going, yes, I got it right. Yes, I got it right. Excellent. Okay, so this time we've got some algebraic terms on the outside, and we're still going to do the same thing. We multiply the A by the C, and we multiply the A by the 2. We multiply the C by the D, we multiply the C by the 3, and so on. Remember, we tend to put the answers in alphabetical order, unless there's numbers involved, in which case the numbers come first, then the letters. Have a go with those, and then I'll show you my answers on the next slide. Okay, here we go, and hopefully you can see we've got AC, and then we've got 2A. The negative, the negative that's here, the take away 3 is still here. The number comes before the letter, and we do it's CD. So look here, we've got 8W, and then we've got negative WY. If you put it the other way round with the letters, it's not a huge crime, but it is convention to go in alphabetical order. Last bit of practice on these. I'd like to thank Mr. Corbett on Corbett Maths, because that's where I nicked these from. Took them off one of his worksheets. So there is more of these sorts of things on his website. What you're going to do, have a go at those, pause it so that you can work through them. They do get a bit tricky. Look at this one here. There's a lot going on there. That's a really, really nice one. Really kind of like focus everything that we've done up until now. Again, have a go at them, and then we'll mark on the next slide. Not on this slide. This is just some more questions. These are more if you really want to push yourself. You don't have to do these, but if you want some extras, there's some really nice ones going on here. There's lots of squares going on. Look at that. Whoa, that one's lovely. Lovely. Oh, I don't know. I think that one might be lovelier. So you can have a go with those. And this time, there will be answers on the next slide. And there they are. There's the answers. Take your time marking them. And for any that you get wrong, do the corrections. But try and work out why it is that you may have gone wrong. And I bet quite a few times it'll be either you forgot to multiply out the second term, or you've got messed up with these directed numbers, with these negatives and positives. And they're always there, and they always cause problems. So hopefully that will have helped get this work to a place where you get a better understanding. And that's it for this week. Bye bye.